as you might have seen, the Langley Pass its MOT had a couple of advisories, but apart from that, it's all good. And I'm just on my way up to somewhere south of Aberystwyth. I can't quite pronounce it, and we're about to go green laning. So it's about a 2.5 hour trip up there, and then it's Monday today, and we're staying until Wednesday, I think. The 90's fine so far, touch wood. It's turned all the way down. I'm not sure how much boost it's making because I haven't got a gauge in it at the moment, but it's just on the wastegate, and the fuel's turned down all the way as well. It's turned down far enough to apparently have the emissions of a modern car, whatever that means, but fairly low emissions. There's not a whole lot of smoke coming out the back. And yeah, the 90 is just, it's a joy to drive at the moment. It's really nice. It's compared to John's series, it's pretty refined. And with these Hankook tyres, these 255 wide tyres, it just sort of sticks to the road like glue. It's really, really good. I'm going to upgrade the shocks at some point because the ones I've got on here are about 10 years old. And I'd quite like to have some stiffer shocks without really going to anti-roll bars. But apart from that, it's really, really good fun. So yeah, the next 3 days are just kind of chilling out with everybody who's helped me at the garage. So James and John and a couple others. And yeah, I'll take a few videos along the way. And, it should be fun. But yeah, we're just super happy that the 90 passed its MOT. You can see the fuse box is out down there because as soon as it passed, like the lights stopped working, which is just stupid, and it was just the fuses. So this is the 110's fuse box, all the 110's wiring lead and everything, and I've got down there I've got a little USB charger that I need to wire in when we get there. Yeah, I'll turn the camera off now, but I'll take some videos once we're there, and cheers for following, guys. It's been off the road for, well, since October 2020, so what's that, 7 months? It's a bit ridiculous really, and we're just super happy to have it back. And yeah, I'll catch you soon. One other thing quickly, we did absolutely everything to this, apart from the wiring for the fan, for the electric fan by the radiator. So last night I hurriedly went over to the garage and lashed up the most ghetto little switch setup ever, but it is fused. It's just down here. Yeah, it works really well. Ignore all the crap down there. But so far, with the fuel turned down a lot, it's actually running pretty cool. Not even sure if you can hear that over the din that the exhaust's making. But we're just approaching Ryder now. We're about 10 miles away, and I'll turn the camera on there. So we're about 5 miles away from Ryder now, and 5 miles away from the main attraction at Ryder, which is the wonderful toilets. So stop there and have a look, and after that we're about half an hour away from the other guys, I think. There's Defender, and he waved as well. Sweet. Yeah, we're in Ryder. Here we are. Ryder toilets, world famous for their sanitation measures. Not. Anyway, we'll park here and take a quick photo of the 90, and then off we pop. Okay, so we just checked out the Rhyder bogs. Probably the only place where you want to wear a mask. And now we're on to Pontywydd. So that's just a bit south of Aberystwyth. And then we'll catch up with the chaps. And it'll be good. Really fun trip so far. The 90's doing really well. I'm just going to check on it actually. All looks okay. There's been a bit of a coolant leak there. Just double check it's got something in it. Bit of a coolant leak down there. It's leaking diesel out of the first spill pipe as well. Servo looks good, intake looks good. Oh, off we go. Driving through all these nice little valleys and stuff. There's little rivers in the valleys, and it just reminds me of my rivers modules at university, which are absolutely horrible. So I'm glad I'm just going on a green laning trip and not going back to uni, to be honest. Nearly there. Same after a while, but I think the Elvis Rock is around here somewhere. And I can't remember how many miles it is between the Elvis Rock and Aberystwyth, but it's not very. I think it's about 20 miles. So I'll just keep a lookout for it. But I think it was vandalised a few years ago. And I don't actually know why there's Elvis written on a rock, but there you go. Keep a look out for it. Can't believe how sunny it is. There's still plenty of time for it to rain, but if it stays like this, it's going to be ace. And there it is. You've seen Rhyder toilets, and now that's the Elvis Rock. Very exciting. And we're nearly there now. Time to give the guys a ring, I think. See where they're at. So I just rang John up, and he doesn't really know where they are. There's no signal. They're following James's dad with the sat nav. So what we're going to do is meet up at Aberystwyth, which is great because I can go and I sort of know the area and I can go and have a look. So pretty exciting, really. See you there. There's a Red Kite Cafe as well. It's like a sightseeing tour on the way to Aberystwyth. But I still can't see any Land Rovers. And that's the sea over there. And Aberystwyth right on the coast. So we should come out to the main high street here. And then turn left and then go down to the sea. I actually used to have this 90 up here when I was up here, and it had the old 2.5 litre non-turbo and it nearly conked out at the top of the hill. Fun fact. Here we are. About 6 or 7 years since I was here as a student. It looks exactly the same, which is nice. Such a nice place. When I had the 90 here a few years, well, 7, 8, 9 years ago now, it barely went up this hill. It's insane now. I remember driving somebody to the hospital and it did about 30 miles an hour tops. Crazy times. That's the hospital just then there on the right. Such a pain in the arse trying to walk up this hill every day. It's a bit easier in the 90. That's the uni there on the right. So we had a good night last night. Had a little fire going. Got my little tent there. No, we're just trying to make some coffee, but it's oh, it's done. Mega. So today we're just gonna be doing some more laning as well. And yeah, hopefully it gets a bit sunnier. James in front with his Series 3 200 TDI, me with a 90 with a 200 TDI, and then John behind with a Disco 200 TDI as well. So we've all got TDI engines and they've all done so well, you know, they all do about 30 to the gallon and sort of give all the power that you'd ever need in a series. And even though it's turned down at the moment in the 90, it's still like a lot of power to drive with. You know, we're just doing this in 4th gear at the moment. Whoops. And yeah, really ace roads to be driving around. I don't remember the roads in Wales being so fun actually. And it's a nice day and yeah, we're just having fun. motorway. We're on the way back to Ryder, and then from Ryder, John's going to go off to Rossilly to the Gower and spend another night down there near Swansea, and myself and James are going to head on back to Cheltenham. But yeah, it's been a really good trip. Really nice to have a few days off. So John's just left to go to the Gower. Now we're hurtling back to Gloucestershire, me and James. It's about an hour and 45 back, so we're just going to crack on and get back and get everything unloaded. And yeah, 90's been absolutely fine so far, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'll turn the camera on when we're back in Gloucestershire, and that'll be that. So yeah, it's been a really, really good trip up in Wales. I think for next time I want to do a better camping setup. Like I want to do a camping bed in the back of the 90 and just make it a bit of a nicer place to be. Make it a bit quieter as well, maybe have a slightly quieter exhaust as well if we're driving all the way up to Scotland and back. And I've also got a quicker transfer box with an overdrive as well that I was going to put on the 110, but if we're using Rover axles I don't really need it because the Nissan Patrol axles would have turned slower. So yeah, I'll check back in when we're back home.